How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's Workshops. I'm glad you dropped in today. We're heading down the lake because we're going to put the water in today. It's really late. I usually have it in before now, so I got to get cracking. So we got the estate car going. I'm going to head down to the boathouse, get the water running. The estate car comes in handy, for trips like this. I don't have to walk down to the lake. That's what happens when you get old. All right, let's go in the boathouse, see what's going on. So the first thing I like to do before I go in, especially after winter like this and the spring that we've had, check for hornet's nests. So we'll approach cautiously. Do a quick scan. Hornet nest free, had to go. So I'm sitting on the pump enclosure that's in the boathouse. This pump enclosure was rebuilt a couple of years ago after Hurricane Fiona destroyed the boathouse. It was always insulated, so I never used to take the water out of the pump or the pressure tank. I would just drain the lines going up the hill to the camp and leave everything running here. That way, if I needed water in the winter, I could access it. I have an outside faucet on the boathouse here. I could access water in the wintertime. But when I rebuilt it after Fiona, I insulated it with styrofoam instead of fiberglass insulation. And apparently I didn't do a good job because that first winter after my rebuild, the pump froze and split the casing. So I had to get a new pump last year. So last fall when I let the water down, I drained everything out of the pump. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start up with a bare bone start, dry pump, dry tank, prime everything, get it running. Also, below the pump, I have a 5-foot well crock. So I pump out of that well crock. The water in that crock, because I'm only about 10-15 feet from the lake, the water in that crock tends to stay the same level as what the lake is. So, you know, it's a good supply of water. Very rarely does it ever run dry. I can pump it dry, but it won't run dry, if you know what I mean, trying to say there. Also, I set up the ability so I could switch and pump direct from the lake if I wanted, or pump from the well crock. I found that was handy to have too. Although the line going to the lake was damaged and destroyed when Hurricane Fiona went through, so now I can only pump. The way setup is right now, I can only pump from the well crock below the pump. And just another thing about this is for outside, this water is for outside use only. We have a bored well with potable water for use in the camp, for consumption in the camp, but this is only for outside use. So anyway, enough talk about that. Let's open it up. We're going to start priming from a dry tank, dry pump, and see if we can get water flowing. So we just opened this cover. It's kind of a friction fit. I'll just lean that back there. So there's the pump. I've got the old pumps in here that I use for parts, of course, but I don't need to use those just yet, I hope. So what we have here is the pump. It's got a pressure tank. It's a shallow well, but it's set up with a jet pump on it now. And it goes down through, if you can see there, the pipes go down through the floor and into the crock that's below here. So I'm going to go fill this bottle with some water and then get ready to prime this pump. I'm not too sure how well you're going to be able to see here, but on top of this pump there's a little brass plug of the pump jet body itself here, and we take this out, and this is where we will prime the pump. So we just take that little plug out. I have a valve down here. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but I have a valve here, so I open that up so that that line is open free right down to the foot valve. So I want to fill this line right down to the foot valve and then fill the pump cavity itself. So this might take a little while. So a little patience is all we need. Just finishing up here, I think. That took just about 2 liters. I don't think that it's fully primed just yet, but I think there's enough in it we can start it. So we'll just put this plug in here loose for now. Now, the outlet here from the pump, it goes to these lines that feed up to the camp. So I have that line shut off because I don't want to pump any water up there just yet. So we'll turn it on. Now, this is something that I'm glad I'm making a video of this, because this primed right away. This amazing. I've never had this happen before. So it took not quite 2 liters to fill this pump and the line, and it picked the prime right up. So just to continue this is the outlet of the pump. I have a shut-off valve here, and it goes to a T out to this outside faucet. And then from there, it continues down where I have another valve that shut off, and that takes water up the hill to the camp. So what I'm going to do to start this pump in stages is I'm going to open this valve to allow water to flow to this outside faucet, and we'll check water flow out there. So when I turn this on, I think the outside faucet is turned on now, so the water should flow out there. The pump should restart as the pressure drains down. The pump should build up and shut off even with the water flowing. Maybe. It did last year, but apparently it's not going to do it this year. So I had to go shut the water off from outside to get the pump to stop. So usually last year it would pump up, so there could be still some air in the system there somewheres. But anyway, I'm pretty impressed with that. That started up okay. I was going to turn the water on to send it up the hill, but we're going to go back up to the camp and make sure all that the outlets for the outside water are all turned off. Then I'll come down here and open this valve, and then we'll go turn the outlets on one at a time to purge out all the lines. Okay, so I just up the hill there and shut off all the valves up at the camp. So now this valve down here, I want to turn this on. Now that's pumping water up the hill to the camp. The pump should pressure up again and then shut off now because there's no water flowing. Because the pump's not shutting off, it may indicate that I have a leak somewhere. So let's go up the hill and see what we can see. I want to give you an update on the estate car. In the last video there when it wouldn't start, I had lots of great tips and hints and ideas and clues on what could be causing the problem, what could be done to fix it. I appreciate all that. What I've done is, remember it wouldn't start, I had to put spray some carb cleaner down the throat of the carb. I did get it going. I ended up going to town last week there and got some seafoam for it, and I added some seafoam to the engine oil. That's all I did, right? Didn't change the oil or anything. It's been starting and running good since then. Lots of pep, idle's good, you know, lots of power, like it won't bog down. But I have been noticing that it's starting to burn oil now. When I start it up, especially after it sits for a while, lots of oil gets burnt. And then when I'm working a little bit, you can see the smoke coming. You know, she's burning oil. So I think the engine is wore out, that's for sure. It would be nice if I could get a rebuild kit for it to rebuild it, but I'm not sure if I want to go that route. That's a lot of work to put into this. Maybe it's just time to look for another engine. But anyways, wanted to give you an update. The estate car is working good. And you know what? That seafoam, you gotta love it, eh? I don't know whether it's helping the engine or hurting the engine, but it sure is making it work better. That one looks good. I guess it's not really a leak. I just forgot to turn these faucets off. I'm glad I found that, not like a serious leak. But what that does highlight is that the drain from the sink is not working. Yeah, a lot of stuff in that, eh? That line just drains underneath here just by gravity and flows and comes out here. So you see it's draining not bad. So we'll just let that drain for a while. Before we go back down the boathouse, let's purge all these lines, make sure that we have water flow in them all. So we know that there's water flowing out to there, so that we'll just turn this on, let that flow for a little bit. Usually what happens when we turn the tap on like that, it'll spray water and then burst some air, and then it'll spray water and burst some air. But I think because we filled our sink pretty good, all the air is out of the line. But let's try this one. Okay, then while we're here, let's walk around this corner rather than drive the estate car around. I need a little exercise, so I may as well walk, right? It's not that far, don't have to pack a lunch or nothing. Ah man, getting old. Getting old is for old people. So that's running good. Alright, we'll go back and get the estate car and then go do the outlets on the camp. People ask me, like, holy dynamite, you get a lot of outlets for water. Why is that? Well, way back when, we had lots of gardens, lots of, well, vegetable gardens plus flower gardens and everything. And to water those, it was a pain in the rear, hauling around like 150 feet of hose. So rather than have to haul around 150 feet of hose, I thought, I'm just going to put in multiple outlets. So that's flowing good. That one's okay. So that's all of them. They all seem to be running good. And back down here, the pump is shut off. Let's check, see if we can see what the pressure says. Not sure how well you'll see this, but there's the pressure right there, and it's holding pretty steady. It's been there for 5 minutes with no leaks. So with the pressure holding good in the pump, I think we're done. I was some impressed with how quick that pump primed. I have to say, it's never primed that quick before, even when I didn't let all the water out. Picked it right up. And you can tell, like when you're priming your pump, if you're a newbie to priming pumps, when you put the water in the pump cavity like that, and the pump starts, you can hear it sounds like it's sucking. And then you can hear the pitch of that will change, and then it'll sound like it's filling up with water, and that's exactly what it's doing. So if you're priming your pump and you continue to hear that sucking sound and it doesn't ever change tone, shut your pump off, because you don't want to run the pump with no water in it for any extended time, because you'll destroy the seals in the pump. But you could hear that changing quite quickly, so I knew that it was priming, so I just let her go and it pumped itself up, so that's good. So yeah, the key to priming pumps is to make sure you don't run it with no water in the pump impellers, and you can tell that by the sound. Basically, that's the only way. So I'm going to put this cover down, shut the lights off, button up the boathouse, and the next time the kids come out, I'm going to send them down here to clean it up, because it's a mess. There we go. Good until the fall. Well, thanks for watching as I primed my pump. I'm sorry it went so well. Didn't get a chance to show you any problems with priming your pump because it went so smooth. But I'm not disappointed. Don't forget to thumbs up, have a great week, folks, wherever you are, and I hope you got your water in. We'll talk to you.